At night, when the moon beckons, it beckons not only for our curiosity, but for our affection. And not only for the moon itself, but for one another. Love can fill our hearts, but also has the power and potency to span the depths of space and time. Like a new electromagnetic force of nature, with charges that only attract, magnetic poles that don't repel. The love that conquers the cosmos? Our love remains as boundless as the multiverse itself.
All the stars in the sky could never shine as bright as my love for you. And all the girls in the world could never quench my thirst or satisfy my hunger the way you do. You're always on my mind, even when I don't have the time to be with you. Just know you're my ride, you're my ride. All goes left, yo, what's up? Yeah, when things get down, yeah, things get down. You're my good, so bad you want me up, yeah. I could love you back and fall to the moon, yeah. I'm so in awe and amazed by all the many ways you changed my life in a single day. And even though everything in my heart might get a little hard to explain, I still won't run out of ways to say you're always on my mind. Even when I don't have the time to be with you. You're my ride. When all goes left, yo, what's up? When things get down, oh, you're my good. When I want you so bad, you want me up. Girl, I could love you back, yeah, to the moon. When the night falls and I have to think about who's gonna stick around at the end of the day, I don't have to think that hard. I already know that it's you. You come through every time, no matter what. Oh, you're my ride. When all goes left, yo, what's up? Get down like they sometimes do. Oh, you're my good that I want so bad. Yeah, you want me up, just like the sun. Girl, I could love you back. Oh, you're my right. When sometimes do. You're my good that I want so bad. Whoa. Girl, I could love you back and forth to the moon.
Love, sports, hip-hop. I got a special show on tap for y'all today. I'm going to do something I usually never, ever, ever do, okay? I never give my L-Waves to somebody else. I mean, I've actually done it one time before, okay? And what I mean by somebody else is somebody that's not actually a part of the family. So we're not talking about the incomparable, incredible Miss Neat. We're not talking about the homie CP. We're not talking about the homie Art. Charlamagne gonna get an opportunity to talk on my show today, okay? No, I'm not interviewing Charlamagne, so, that ain't happening. But I will be airing pieces of an interview that he's done with Kayne West. The interview is out. I've not seen the interview. I have not heard the interview. We're going to do this thing together today. Kanye's been a major part of conversation over the last week or so. And We're going to continue to take this ride with Kayne West. Today's show title, Do It for the Love, man. It's important. If you ain't doing it for the love, then what you doing it for? We had an incredible show last night. If I ain't told y'all, this Geraldine just loves sports and hip-hop. Like, you should know this already. If you're late to the show, I feel sorry for you. But I'm also happy for you because you're joining us. That's a good thing. Welcome to the family. We got a Spreaker chat room sponsored by Spreaker, okay? Come on in. Look for the show. Follow the show. Come on into the chat room. Have a good time with us. It's all good. It's gravy, okay? You can do that. We have the usual suspects. They'll be in here soon. I already spoke about it. The incomparable Miss Nick. She'll be around. She's got some things she's working on this morning for the JOBZ, but she'll be here. We also have Big L and Al and Chuck and Phil and so many people, man. So many great, wonderful, beautiful black folk that are just awesome and give so much energy to this brand. I mentioned you at the top of the show because without you, this would not exist, okay? So thank you for who you are. And that's from the bottom of my heart. Of course, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/Love Sports Hip Hop. And if you're not following me on IG right now, you're missing out. I got posts on IG right now that'll change your life. Straight up. Straight up. It's changing my life. I'm at IG, at JAY Orleans, Twitter, the same handle. As Ms. Nick says, I am always here. Hello, fam. She's in the building. That's a good look. Glad she's here. This is going to be major today. I'm going to have some fun. I got some things I want to give to you. I had an amazing show with her last night in Art. If you didn't check out the conversation from last night, the conversation aired prime time on Monday night. It was special. It was electric. It was fun. We had people calling in. You know what I'm saying? It was electric. All kind of chiming in. You know, Ms. Nick, she do it big. She went live on Facebook. She did all of that. So if you missed that, then I feel sorry for you. But again, we take care of you. All you got to do is search through the catalog here, Love Sports and Hip Hop, and you'll see the conversation hosted by the lovely Ms. Nick, and you can have that in your life. It's important. Do that. The content is amazing. I am proud of it. Was blessed to be a part of it last night and look forward to doing more over on the conversation. And look forward to Friday. Freestyle Friday is around the corner now. You know, you look forward to these things during your week. Like, you start counting days down. You say, look, we got Freestyle Friday on Friday night. Jay coming Monday through Friday. Then we got Ms. Nick on Saturday. Then we might get a little sneaky, nice little playlist on Sunday, which I gave y'all that Sunday. And I do have to have a disclaimer placed on that playlist. It is the greatest male R&B groups, okay? I had some female groups I wanted to put in there. I didn't get a chance to do that. And, of course, Ms. Nick said, wait a minute, I got a bone to pick with you. I say, I know where you're going. I know where you're going. I did it purposefully. I wanted it to kind of be from a male's perspective, singing to a woman. And then, of course, I'll allow you to put together the female song list, the playlist. And, you know, and we can do that. And everything is all good. Welcome to Love Sports and Hip Hop. Again, really good show today. I got my Pelicans playing tonight. They'll beat the Warriors. We'll talk about all of that. We'll get into all of that good stuff and, you know, all of that good stuff. We'll do it. I got you. Kayne West today. I got to get out the way early. I got to get out the way. It's a 2-hour interview. I'm going to have all the details for you in a moment. I need to play this music for you, though. This is from one of my favorite albums of last year. I told Miss Nick, and CP backed me up, and we actually named this album as R&B Album of the Year. I'm going to tell Miss Nick to do this. You need to go back and listen to this album again. This is a phenomenal project. Not saying you didn't know it was not phenomenal. Trust me. Go back, listen to it again. It's an awesome album. If you missed it, you didn't get it, grab it, support real R&B, soul music. It's a good look, man. Today, if you ain't doing it for the love, then what the hell you doing it for? Straight up. That's just the bottom line of it. That's got to be life where we at right now, right? Got to be. I'm your host, Geraldine. I'm going to get out y'all way. I got a big show today. Okay? Big show. Share the show, like the show, do all that right now. Send it to somebody personally. Say, hey, look, if it's just one person, I think you should check this out today. Check it out. Come listen to what I'm on right now. It's good stuff. And then we grow like that. We grow. Miss Nick mentioned it last night. Yes, by the end of this week, everything will be done. We'll be officially on iHeartRadio, which is a big, 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 big deal for Love Sports and Hip Hop, because at one point they told us we wasn't good enough yet. You know, I don't lie to y'all. I'll tell y'all the truth. We wasn't good enough. Now they feel like we popping a little bit, and they say, guess what? We'd like to have you guys come on over. So we nicely said yes. You know, we're going to go ahead on and do that. So shout out to iHeartRadio. We'll be there. Love Sports and Hip Hop. Doing big things. Couldn't have been done without you guys. That's a That's all giving back to y'all. All giving back to y'all. Shout out to everybody right now that's loving on us. As I said, in Europe and in Germany, this show is airing as a primetime show, and y'all are showing us major love over there. Got to give y'all mad respect. Whoever over there bumping the hell out of Love Sports and Hip Hop, love. I love you for that. Thank you. That's mad love. I'm going to take this break. If I don't take it now, I'll keep talking, and y'all know I'll find things to discuss, right? I'm not going to do that. This is from Music Soul Child's Feel the Real album. Grammy nominated, by the way. A phenomenal piece of work. Probably one of his best albums. If not, watch this. His best album. Sterling's Love Sports and Hip Hop. I'll be back in about 4 minutes or more. Tell somebody we on, man.
Late night on a date night. It's obvious something's on your mind. I asked you what you're thinking about. You said you don't wanna talk about it. I said, what's up? Is everything cool? You said, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine. All right, yeah. I just need a little time. That's why. You said I treat you too good. You don't really think you deserve it. I don't understand. How could you think that you're any less than worth it? Everybody knows ain't no one perfect on this earth. So I don't know what you gonna do, but if you try to stick around and make it work, then don't hold back. When you know it's real, if you want this to last, then you got to be all in. Love me back. Let me know if it's real. Yeah, I know about the past, but I'm here now. You say I'm kind of unusual, cause I ain't like them other dudes, you know. I can dumb it down whenever you're around. Keep my feelings inside, but I ain't got that kind of time. No, I'm in love with you, why lie? If that's too much for you to handle, why try? It ain't gonna get you much better than this. So no, I don't accept excuses, lie. How I treat you too good, you don't really think you deserve it. Cause I don't understand, how could you think you're any less than worth it? Everybody knows ain't no one perfect on this earth, no. So I don't know what you're gonna do, but if you're trying to stick around and make it work, then don't. You know it's real. If you want this to last, gotta be all in there. Love me back. No, it's real. I know, yeah, I know. I'm here now. Look, I thought you knew you could have. Don't matter what it is, no. Don't you understand? On me, I know you're scared. Look, things can get crazy sometimes, but I ain't going nowhere. No, so if you want me to give you everything that I got, just don't hold back, no. It's real, it's the life. Got to be all in, love me back. I just wanna know if it's real. Don't forget about the past. I'm here now, don't know. Let me know if you want this to last. You gotta be all in, yeah. Let me know it's real. Hey girl, we all got us a past, but I'm here, still here.
Love Sports Hip Hop. I told y'all this was the R&B album of the year last year. I told y'all that. And it came out at the bottom half of the year. And I said this album was the best album in R&B I've heard in a long time. Music Soul Child, Feel the Real. It's a phenomenal project. It's a double disc. I don't buy CDs no more. Only when I feel inclined to support like the movement of the artist, I'll go the extra mile and actually purchase the CD because I'm just wanting to make that statement of, you know what, I'm going to get behind a physical copy of the project. I did that with this CD. That's how good it was. I downloaded it for free, just pure candid. conversation with you. And as I heard the album, I said, this shit is dope. I said, I got to go. I'm going to spend money on this. Like, I ain't just going to have it and listen to it and do that. I'm going to pay up, and I'm going to give it to the store. So I did that. Shout out to Music Soul Child for an amazing project. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something I usually don't do. I am going to run maybe 2 more from this album. Today I got time. Because I got a princess. She's saying, Daddy, look, it's going down today. Me and you, partner. Y'all can hear in the background, she ready to go to war, okay? So I'm going to take care of her real quick. Get her settled. Get her relaxed, okay? So we got some sniffles in the house today. All right, lucky that hasn't really hit me. I might sound a little bit raspy, but I don't let it get me, all right? And shout out to Big L because he knows tonight the Pelicans will win. Don't pay attention to what he's talking about in the chat. He's just, he doesn't want Rondo and the Pelicans to win because he needs AD to come home and be the savior in Chicago. And I get it. I get that. It just ain't going to happen, okay? It's not going to happen. He's going to stay here. We're going to do what we need to do. And it's going to be, it's going to be what it's going to be, okay? So I'm going to play just a few more from this album, and then we'll come back and we'll get into this Kayne West interview. I got to send a link over to Miss Sneak. We're going to put this all on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Love Sports Hip Hop. We're going to go in today with this. I'm going to take it bit by bit, analyze it, discuss it with you. He's been a part of conversation, and this is crazy. It's crazy right now what's happening with him. He's like taking the attention from everybody. Like there's nobody right now in hip-hop, pop culture other than Kanye right now. Like he's just dominating all the headlines. So, yeah, we're going to have that. We might as well just do it. We're going to interview. If you haven't heard it, you'll hear it, okay? I got you. So jail needs to love sports and hip-hop. Be patient. Enjoy this Music Soul Child. Feel the real. It was our vote as a company for Album of the Year, okay? So it's worthy. Be right back with more Love Sports and hip-hop in a minute. Tell somebody we're on. It's me giving y'all some time. Hook it up. Tell everybody we're here because y'all going to need to make sure y'all got some other folks to talk to when I'm telling y'all the truth and y'all can't argue me. I'll be right back. We will Love Sports and Hip Hop.
Before. I guess that's what I get for not paying attention. But when did you get so cool and so beautiful? Yeah. I know we said we just friends, but now I'm second guessing. I don't know how, but somehow now everything's different. You know me, you've been around, so this ain't no game. All I'm trying to say is you can get it in a special way, but baby girl, listen. I don't know what you're thinking, I'm just playing with you. I'm just trying to keep it real. What's the deal? We be friends, benefits, before we start kissing. And we mess around and catch the wrong feelings. I'm just trying to keep it real. What's the deal? We be friends, benefits, but I ain't on a mission. Promise I ain't finna hit you and forget you. I'm just trying to keep it real. So what's the deal? We be friends, benefits, Whoever says sex with friends never works, Yeah, you might be right, but I beg to differ. Cause there just ain't no way of getting around getting hurt. No, but I don't see how it means we can't get together. I ain't gon' lie, I know this ain't gon' last forever, but we'll cross that bridge when it's time. Just as long as everything's understood, whatever happens, we gon' still be good. Cause baby girl, listen, I don't know what you're thinking, I'm just playing with you. I'm just trying to keep it real. What's the deal? Can we be friends with benefits? Start kissing, and we mess around and catch the wrong feelings. I'm just trying to keep it real. Can we be friends with benefits? Baby, I'm just trying to keep it real. Can we be friends with benefits? I know you got a it's been a while since you've been gone, so much has changed. Yeah, but you haven't at all. How long you gonna stay for? We got some things we need to catch up on. Let's go somewhere where we can sit and talk about us. I know your grind is your life. Always been about your business, but I can't deny in my mind. I always thought you and I were unfinished. So you and me start over. Ain't no doubt we ain't getting younger, babe. So why not give us a try? See what you and me really could be, baby. Cause who's better for you, girl? Look, you know and I know. No one else gon' love you like the way you know I could love you, girl. Standing right here in front of me after all these years. Tell me where you've been, babe. Do you remember that time you had that guy who made you cry? And I would say, work it out with him. It's no surprise how now you're not with him no more. Too busy playing with your heart. And yeah, I know I ain't no saint, baby, but I ain't gonna get so far in this life if you're not in it now. So how you and me start over? Ain't no doubt we ain't getting younger, babe. So how about we give us a try? I'm just saying, girl, you know I know ain't nobody else in the world gonna love you like I do. No, hey girl, look, all we got is now. Ain't no telling where we'll be. No, from this moment to the next, and I'm just trying to show you what we could be. Yeah, ain't gonna lie, I was surprised, cause once you left, I never thought you'd come back. And now I wanna do over, but this time I'll get it right. How about you and me start over? Ain't no doubt we ain't getting younger, babe. Yeah, no. I'm just saying, girl, who's better for you than me? Girl, no one. Girl, I bet nobody gonna love you. I do. Oh, no, 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 no.
Love sports, hip hop. Welcome back, man. Without further ado, let's get to this work. Like, we got to get into this business today. It's time. I told y'all the album is phenomenal. If you didn't get it, you need to got it. You need to hear it. You need to heard it. Straight up. Like, it's not even in the debate. Grammy nominated. It was given our award for album of the year in R&B. I said it early. Let me give y'all something real quick. I had a big argument. Like, if we go back and look at the debates that we had about giving that album of the year, Miss Neek was arguing with me. Oh, that ain't the album of the year. You tripping. Stop. You just heard the damn album of the year. I said, look, I'm telling you, this shit is the album of the year. And CP, who loves Music Soul Child, by the way, like that's his idol. It's kind of like a situation where he really couldn't get into it, but I know now much better. Okay, I didn't know then. But I knew he knew the truth. And he didn't really want to go against, his big sis. He didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it took him a little while to gain the courage. It's like, look, sis, it is the album of the year. It's phenomenal. And so, yeah, we ended up awarding the album of the year, Love Sports and Hip Hop's stamp of approval from last year. And if you haven't heard it, I've made jokes about it, do it, support it. It's a very good project. Kayne West, in the news again, his interview with Charlamagne, I believe it was $1 million interview. I'm hearing rumors that that's what this interview kind of cost somebody kind of put this together where it's just Charlemagne, and it happened on April 18th. And it's about 2 hours long. Of course, we're not going to be able to air the full 2-hour interview. This is courtesy of WeGotLove.com. All right. So after you listen to today's show, you can go back. If you just got to have more Kanye, then, go ahead on and, do what you got to do. Okay. But we're going to get a chance to hear from Kanye. I'm looking at Kanye. He has like blonde hair. He's gained weight and all that good stuff. And let's get right into it. I'm going to get out the way. When there's a part that I need to interrupt and kind of be like, what the hell? I'll do that. This is the first time I'm hearing it. I don't know if it's the first time you're hearing it. But let's see what Ye got to say, man. Let's get into it. Love, Sports, and Hip Hop, courtesy of WeGotLove.com. Without further ado, this is Kanye West and Charlemagne the God.
Ye,
What's good?
how are you, my brother?
I'm good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of pictures of you lately out and about. So the first question is, how are you?
I'm feeling good.
'Cause the last time I think people heard about you in the news was Kanye West was having a mental breakdown. So mentally, where are you?
I think I'm in a stronger place than I ever was after the breakdown, or I like to say the breakthrough.
What do you think caused the mental breakdown?
Fear, stress, being controlled, manipulation, like being a pawn in a chess piece of life, stressing things that create like validation that I didn't need to worry about as much. And this the concept of competition and being in competition with so many, elements at one time. On a race against time, your age, you getting old. Race against popularity on the radio. Khaled got this song, Drake got this song on the radio, it's playing to death. St. Paulo ain't playing. I could take the whole interview.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because you've been the guy that has always created a flow, not gone with the flow. So it seems like you were a little upset that you weren't a part of the flow?
It was weird. I was looking at, we're doing St. Pablo, and the cultural impact is incredible, but I'm looking for other forms of validation when there's other frequencies and other currencies. So just because it's not playing on the radio, of course we had, Father Stretches in the club and on the radio a bit, like it went to #1. But, to put that same amount, if not more work into a piece of work, and then you're used to it coming out like graduation, where everything is everywhere, it's frustrating. And really, ever since the Taylor Swift moment, it just had never been the same, the connection with radio. It's like, whatever powers that be, it was much harder after that. And then also, LA leaving Universal, he had that radio locked. So if you're an artist and you sign to a major label, you want to be on the radio, especially if you popular, if you popping, if you're one of the most famous people on the planet and people love your music and all the best artists in the world are coming to your concert and all friends is like, Snapchatting themselves at the shows and you selling merch out like that, it seems like, okay, radio should just be intact. And it might be just a piece of information that I was missing that wasn't being expressed to me that I didn't understand. Because at the end of the day, someone's controlling it, and I didn't understand it. But the radio element was just one of the factors. There's the situation with my wife in Paris. And all of the elements of you feeling helpless. You feeling like, what can you do? 1,000. I had went to Paris on that trip to protect her, but not protect her, physically, but to go and just help her with her looks because she's in Paris. So I'm like, let me put my eye on it personally. while she's out in Paris to make sure she busts these niggas' ass, blah, blah, just so like get fly. And one of the things that she said that she heard is that they were coming to rob her and they had to wait till I had left. And when I finally, and that the people have been strategizing and scheming on that for a long time. So when she probably got to Paris by herself, they were like, okay, this is our chance. Next thing you know, I get off on the flight the next day. And they were like, oh, okay, we got to like fall back. And then, when I left a couple days later, I'm on stage and I hear that my boy Sakai comes up to me and says, your wife was robbed. And at that point, I didn't know the whole element or the whole story of what was happening. Previous to that, just 1 week before that or 2 weeks before that, I'd done a fashion show. And I was 45 minutes late. And they LeBron'd me, bro. Like, remember when LeBron went to Miami?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and they just killed him and like burned his like jersey and all that. Mm-hmm. It's like I just done MSG, Young Thug on stage, and then go and plug in an iPhone with 16,000 people, everybody in the audience, whoever you want to name and shit, streaming live, all this like a breakthrough. And soon as I was 45 minutes late, I felt it was the fashion community getting the right to say nigger without saying it. To be like, yo, we know you come through stepping on necks and all that and what you do in your approaches, things and stuff, but if you get out of line, boy, we're going to roast you. And it affected me because I'm an artist, and it affected me emotionally. It's like all these things were like almost set up to put me on meds, to break me down. The robbery, like I don't know where that came from. Was that a bigger plan, a bigger setup? Also just be on stage 4 times a night. 4 times a week. You get exhausted up there.
So you was mentally exhausted, emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted, everything.
Yeah. Fine. Yeah.
Did you go to therapy at all? Because I feel like this is a lot to unpack. And I'm sure you're the go-to guy for a lot of people. So it's like, who does the go-to guy go to? So I'm sure you had to go to some therapy or something.
Nah, I use the world as my therapy, as my therapist. Anyone I talk to is my therapist. I will pull them into the conversation of what I'm feeling at that point and get their perspective. Sometimes they'll be like, damn, I'm talking to Ye. I'm not expecting to talk about this. I'll talk through things. Anybody that I'm around, and I put that as advice to people. It's like, use people around you as your therapist. Because they probably know more about you. Like a therapist is like, does a crash course in Ye and then comes and it's like, want to give you, some advice. And I'm not saying that the therapists are bad. I'm just saying that I like just talking to acquaintance, friends, family. And, I keep them on the phone, for 45 minutes at a time, talking through things. It's like, it's kind of narcissistic, talk about my problems, using the energy, even like just them being a sounding board and talking through it. So,
but when it comes to, I guess, mental health, so to speak, you seem to be in a good space mentally. So how did you get there? You just talk through it with people, or was it music? We see you returning to Twitter now. Is just getting these thoughts out therapeutic for you?
Yeah, but I'm not even, the thoughts that I'm getting out on Twitter right now, and that, I think everything is therapeutic, but I'm not doing it as a form of personal therapy. It's just an innate feeling. I want to express. I decided to use this platform to express some breakthroughs that I've had since going to the hospital. Yeah.
What are some of those breakthroughs? You said something about the fashion world and how you felt like when you was 45 minutes late, they tried to cut your head off. It's kind of the same thing with Taylor Swift. When you got on stage and interrupted her acceptance, it's like, do you feel like whenever you're in spaces where you're tolerated as opposed to celebrated, they remind you of that?
Oh yeah, you get reminded all the time. But the reminders don't mean nothing to me anymore because I've broken it. This is this is a Hermes level existence at this point. You know, like you look at a Birkin bag, the way it's made, the more scratches on it, the more value it has. You know, so all those things, those pieces of the story have created who I am today. And I wouldn't turn down anything. Like I would be thinking about you as I was recovering, and I always thought I'm going to go and talk to Charlamagne first. And I just wanted to say, like, there was elements about going to the hospital and having a breakdown or a breakthrough that was fire. It was incredible. The feeling was incredible. You know, well, on the song St. Pablo, I said, I'm praying an outer body experience would happen so people could see my light and know it's not just rapping. You have the context of rap. Here go one related. I want to talk about rap. Here go one related to what I was saying about the fashion show. So if my name pops up in a publication, and, you know, today I don't want to use white, black, the black man show, all too much of that. I want to modernize, but I want to speak about the concept of racism as something that is something we're in, it's something of the past, it's something we'll break in the future. So I say this, you know, if it's a white publication, if they use the word rapper, they not saying that in a complimentary way. They trying to say that to not classify it in a Howard Hughes, Picasso's, you know, Einstein
just say artist
way. Yeah, artist or just person or something. Just who I am. Whatever. Say my name and whatever. Just say my first name. Right. Just say half of my first name. Just say yay. Yeah. Whatever. Right. And whatever someone takes from that, then cool. And then say what happened. And just leave it there. Don't put no extra sauce on it. So when they put the rapper, and then they'll say something I'll say that's like absolutely inspired. But if they put it in something inspired in the wrong context, will come off as, I don't want to say crazy, because I also want to change the stigma of crazy, and I want to change the stigma of mental health, period. And I have not done no extra study on it. We at the beginning of it, we're at the beginning of the conversation, but best believe I'm going to take the stigma off the word crazy. But let's just say for now, people will take something that's enlightened, put it in a different context, and then call it crazy to try to diminish the impact and the value of what I'm actually saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I say I go to therapy every Friday at 3 o'clock. Because, you know, sometimes you feel like Rafiki in The Lion King. Remember Rafiki? Rafiki.
Love Sports and Hip Hop. This interview is courtesy of WeGotLove.com. I am airing bits and pieces of an interview here. Charlamagne the God, courtesy of The Breakfast Club. It sits down with Kayne West exclusively. They're in a white room and with some ancient Roman art pieces, from what I can gather. And they're having a conversation. And Big Dub has chimed in. He says he never got the chance to grieve after his mom passed. He's going through phases, and it doesn't help that he's married in the Kardashian family. I think without being overly emotional, I'm going to, you know, lean on Big Dub's perspective there. I don't know what it is to lose a parent unexpectedly. So I don't have a reference point. What I'm not going to do as I look at this interview, and I was maybe 5 minutes ago, I was going to approach this a lot differently. But I'm going to have the patience to sit back and listen to this brother speak. And there's some other news out there about the doctor that performed the surgery on his mom reaching out and writing an open letter to Kanye. And I agree with Big Dub a lot. I agree with him. I think ultimately, you know, I think we need to be, you know, a little bit sensitive, especially in our platforms. I thought the comment he just made a few moments ago was absolutely correct. That certain publications use certain words, coded words, to hide a negative stigma behind the usage of it. And it's important that our black media companies not protect our artists as a sense that we're not going to hold them accountable, because Kanye will be held accountable for things that I believe don't represent love. Let me say that. Since he says he's about love, if I hear things that seem to be in direct contradiction to his, major message, I'm going to call him out on that. But as of right now, I'm going to get a brother an opportunity to express himself, because I don't know what it's like. My brother, Big Dub, does know what it's like. He does. And so even in his comments, he didn't berate the guy. He just said, hey, he never got a chance to grieve his mom after she passed. He's going through phases, and it doesn't help that he's married in the Kardashian family. So he's got a perspective that is of value. And I like to lean on expert conversation, people who've actually walked through something, rather than me throw my opinions about some shit that I don't have any reference point. Like I don't have a reference point. So I'm going to be careful in that today and evaluating this whole thing. I do appreciate you guys for listening to the show. I'm not going anywhere. We're going to continue this interview. I just want to make sure that y'all know that I'm here. I'm listening to it with you. I'm actually watching Kanye as he goes through it. So thank you again for listening to Love, Sports, and Hip Hop. This is courtesy of WeGotLove.com. Check it out when you get a moment if you want to go through it again. This is Kanye West being interviewed by Charlamagne the God. Looks like I don't know if it's at Kanye's crib. It's somewhere. But back to the interview.
He knew exactly where Simba came from. He knew exactly who Simba was and what Simba was about. But everybody would say, yo, Rafiki is crazy. Stay away from him. And one day Rafiki took that staff and hit Simba over the head and said, no, you're crazy because you don't even know who you are. Look at this lake and let me show you where you come from. I think you might have forgotten that you're Kanye West. Because so many people was trying to make you believe that you were lesser than who you truly are.
Oh, yeah. If you hang around people who act like you aren't who you are, then you'll forget who you are. And I got a doper way. I've written it down in a doper way. Yeah, tweet, Right. We should just tweet while we let's tweet that right now. Shit.
Speaking of Twitter, how does that feel coming back to Twitter? Because I would think that the hardest thing for Kanye West is to be quiet.
Yeah.
He was quiet for like a year.
I didn't have a lot to say. I had a lot to learn. And, right now you'll document where I'm at. I felt the need to speak at this point. When you look up at 5 years from now or 10 years from now, I'll have more experience. I'll be in a better place than I was today. But it's good for you to see, there'll be mistakes, there'll be flaws in the way I communicate today, because we're human beings, we're flawed. I'm not media trained, I'm not studied in that, I'm not trying to say the right thing. I'm just saying exactly what I feel out of love. Yeah. When
was the last time Kanye West felt like he had something to learn? Because that's interesting to hear you say, because Kanye is the guy who seems to know everything. Like, to know what's going on as far as music, fashion. Like, when's the last time Kanye felt like he had something to learn?
Every day. Every day I'm trying to learn something, and every day I get afraid. I'm fearful of things, and I just use bravery to overcome what I'm fearful of. I mean, what's the quote people always say, the wise man knows he knows nothing?
Yeah.
I'm learning, and now I'm expressing some things that I felt, and if they mean something to you at this time, then great. If not, then don't use them. So, a lot of I think me and Jay's issue, my issue, it just came down to information. I'm super hungry for information. I need information more than I need validation, more than I need finance. I need, if I learn how to fish, then I can feed my family forever. So I'm just constantly looking for the information. How do I set up a factory?
So you feel like Jay was tossing you money as opposed to giving you the information? Because the infamous line on 444 is, I gave Kanye 20 mil without thinking. He gave me 20 minutes on stage. What was he thinking? Oh, I think it was 20 mil without blinking, whatever it was. He gave you $20 million.
That concept that you gave me, that he gave me the money, that's what frustrated me, because actually the money he got it from Live Nation. Roc Nation was managing me at the time. That's something normal, that someone would give someone a touring deal. Mm-hmm. It was a touring deal. But the fact that it was worded that it came from him, I'm a very loyal, emotional, artist person, That made me feel like I owed more than just the money itself, for the fact that it came from him. Mm. It just put me under a bit more of a kind of controlled situation. It's and I'm only acting out of love. I don't need to be controlled. I just need to be inspired and informed. And I can be the best Ye in that way. But if I have I gave you this on it, and I don't have the full information of how it happened. Now, that said, I think there was some love in that, because on Jay's part, because he did have to co-sign for it when the Live Nations and these different companies wouldn't co-sign for me, and I was in debt. Jay did have to go up and say, I'm a co-sign for Ye.
Gotcha.
So the thing is, it's one of those ones, have you ever done something where you did something for someone that's positive, but it was something about the way you did it that kind of blew the whole thing up?
Yeah.
So Jay did something that was positive, but the fact that I didn't receive the information in the right way, because I always feel man, I'm out here in Hollywood. I'm out here my mom's passed. I don't know who I can trust. Mm-hmm. I don't trust nobody.
And Jay was big brother. His big brother.
Yeah.
But I feel like both of y'all might have reacted emotionally, though. Mm-hmm. Meaning that, you reacted emotionally when you was on stage and you ranted, and then he replied in a record. That's not really his character to do something like that. To put out, this is what I did for such and such.
I mean, yeah, but he did it in a brotherly way. Mm-hmm. He could have he could have released an entire record or something like that. It was just a bar. You know what I mean? Takeover. Yeah, could have went crazy. Got every single piece of information that possible on my life and stuff. Know the finances, all that. So even when I tweeted, I was in debt. That gave me power. That I took my power back, because it's someone trying to say yo, if you say this, you're not gonna be cool no more. And it's man, my financial situation don't make me.
Yeah.
I'm in debt, now what? And I'm still Ye.
Yeah, you did the Eminem and 8 Mile. Let me say it about myself before somebody else can use it against me. Yeah. That's what I call living your truth, though. Live your truth, so, when you live your truth, nobody can use your truth against you.
Yeah.
Where you and Jay at now?
We good. We tweeting, we texting each other this positive energy.
Have y'all seen each other?
I haven't seen him, but I can feel him.
All right. What keeps brothers like y'all from just, come to the house, man. Let's have a meal. Let's sit down and talk face to face, eye to eye. Because every time I, see him doing an interview, whether it's with David Letterman, whoever, he's saying that's my brother. I love him. So what stops y'all from just face to face communication?
We'll do it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes also, when you have such similar personalities, and people are, creating their own existence in their own world, in their own simulation or whatever, they need to do it on their own. When we were doing Watch the Throne, I was there, in service to Jay, in service to myself too, but I was there where any idea, the Givenchy artwork on Watch the Throne, the first time you ever saw the Givenchy dog was on Ham. Was on a Ham cover, that, the Otis bead, the producers were working with, every piece of information was open source directly for, my idol, for Jay. And that's where we were at that time. And if that's the case, then, Ye's going to be around more. Right. If I went off and, started focusing on clothes, and building my company and my, my factory and my office and just focus on my family, all this. And, that's what happened.
Love Sports and Hip Hop. Jail Leans, we are live, man. We are airing this Charlemagne and Kanye West interview. And, I'm going to be careful. I don't have anything negative to say. I can be honest and tell you that right now. I don't have anything negative to say. I'm going to take some time to kind of digest this project. And I say project because it's a production. It's they're sitting down and having this conversation, and you can see that it's thought out on some level. Before I just come to a comment about it quickly, I can say it's interesting. And so, again, thank you for joining me. This is Love Sports and Hip Hop. This is courtesy of WeGotLove.com. Charlemagne the God interviewing Kanye West. You're listening to Love Sports and Hip Hop. Back to the interview.
Jay said you went too far talking about his family. Do you feel that? You feel like you went too far?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. If we're family, if we're brothers, and we are family, then
it's your family too.
Then it's my family. Mm-hmm. If we're business associates and this, then it was too far.
Gotcha.
Respectfully, I got to say, I was hurt about them not coming to the wedding. Mm-hmm. I understand they was going through some things, but if it's family, you're not going to miss a wedding, and I'm not using this interview to put any negative things, but I got to state
just expressing yourself.
Yeah, I got to state my truth. Yeah. And then that one thing happens, and another thing happens, another thing happens, another thing's happening. You just start coming up with all type of crazy ideas in your head and stuff. Like, why? And obviously it's me. I'm like wild out personality and stuff. I'm like the cousin you can't bring nowhere, all this type of stuff, right. Obviously. But
that's interesting about the wedding. Did they not come? Because in the press it was Beyonce has a problem with Kim, or they don't like all the Kardashian reality show type thing, or maybe now in hindsight, maybe it was because they had their own issues that they was trying to work out. What do you think it was?
I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. I'm past it, but at the time I was hurt about it.
Did you ask them?
I don't think I ever asked them that question directly. Maybe talking through someone that worked with them and that kind of thing, but never directly.
I think you got to address what bothers you, yay. I think that's what might be causing, what causes the breakthroughs. When you're not asking the things that you want to ask. Like, those are questions you can get answers for. Like, some things you can't get answers for, but that one you can get an answer for.
I don't think the answer fixes it.
True. I want to go back to something you said, speaking about fixing something. Like, how did you, as a man, forgive yourself for, you said you feel like you let your wife down because you hired the security. How did you get over that? Because that's not your fault. That's chance.
I mean, if she wasn't here, I would never forgive myself. Mm. It's just bugged out when you're super high profile and this celebrity, the concept of celebrity. You're like as famous as the president, but you don't have the National Guard with you. You got to hire your own. You got to make your own, community guard.
So it's just a constant thing, basically.
The idea of security and the way it relates to fame and this, that, all that is especially with, social media and all these different things and that's like, my wife doesn't even wear big diamonds anymore. We don't keep no jewelry, no money in the house, no, name, high art, none of that. We don't keep any of that any place, where our kids stay,
That's one of the things I talk to my therapist about, though, because it's a very vulnerable feeling being a father and a husband, because our job is to protect and provide, but we not with our kids 24/7. Like, our kids are at school right now. Like, anything can happen. You know, you're not with your wife all the time, so anything can happen. So it's kind of like a very vulnerable feeling, like you almost got to let go and let God, so to speak. You know? Do you think it's easy to be fearless when it's just you that you have to worry about? But, you know, now being a husband and a parent, does it make you more afraid to take more chances?
Yeah, but you got to stay brave. You have to follow your gut feeling. You know, everyone has a position in the universe. And, you know, I've been made and had the experiences I've had for a reason. To be expressive, to go through going to the hospital, to go through the dynamics of, you know, family, brother, working relationships. You know, I got to follow my gut. When I have that fear, I still have to be, you know, brave. And, you know, I think is interesting in this world that's like looking for sound bites. Like when you talk about the Jay thing, it's like, you know what? I do love Jay. And I don't have all the answers for every issue I've ever had. I don't have a soundbite for everything.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, sometimes language is an overrated form of communication, right? Like words don't always do it justice. I saw something you tweeted, and it was to the effect of some things can't be explained. Some things just need to be experienced. What's
Love sports and hip hop, guys. Let me break in here for a moment. This is a jewel to me. I think this is a jewel. On a lot of levels. I think this is a very special piece of work that we have in front of us with this Kanye West and Charlamagne the God interview. It's a lot. This is a loaded interview. And it's one thing to discuss somebody and analyze them in celebrity. And, you know, I'm looking at Kanye West and he named LeBron James. And there are countless of other persons that we have placed on a pedestal, and we have almost dehumanized these people, and they become public domain in the sense that because you make so much money, then you need to be a perfect product for us. And I think this is incredible. I'm sitting here watching Kanye and relating to him more as a creator, as a man. There's a lot of things that I can see inside of him that I can even reflect. It reflects back to me as a creator. And a lot of the deep questions that one may ask themselves as they pursue this life of happiness. Like, what truly is happiness? You know, his brother had been through a lot. He's faced death. His mom has passed due to issues that he believes is definitely connected to money. Ye has been around circles of people that I definitely haven't been around. And so I'm not creating a element of sympathy for those who just can't, I guess, find it for the brother. I am sitting here in awe of his transparency and his bravery to sit and to be analyzed like this. This is heavy. This is big. Like, this is a really big interview. And just as he just finished speaking about, there are times when you're asked, okay, what do you think about this? And I don't even know how to truly dissect it for you other than this is life. Like, this is what you're seeing is life. And there are people who would give a lot to trade places with Ye, you know, as it relates to the stardom and the money and all of these things that he has. And, you know, you can look at Ye and you can see that the weight of everything that he knows. It's being a person that is actually aware. You know, he's aware. You know, he's not unaware. He's aware. Just you haven't been down the same streets he's been down. You haven't rode, you know, the highways that he's been on. And for those who get it, those who aspire to be in the limelight, not necessarily for the reasons just wanting to be in the limelight, just let me show everybody the way. And I think that's where Kanye started with all of this. Let me shine a light with my talent. You know what I'm saying? And you're looking at him, and he seems like they almost killed me. I remember talking to Miss Neat, and this will be eerie to her. I told her, I say, Ye needs a serious intervention fast. I said, we're looking at all of the signs of somebody who is looking to get out of here. Like, he looked like he's ready to die. And you were like, oh, and not you. I'm always talking to her. But she's like, Jay, don't say that. I said, look, pay attention. I say, we need to, as a community, see the signs of somebody that's going through mental anguish. And this shit is heavy for him. And everybody worried about his album and his shoes and his shirts and, you know, what can I grab from you? What can I continue to grab from your energy? Gimme. Be what I want you to be. Be. And you guys understand that pressure just as normal people to your family. This guy's got to be that to a lot of other people in a way that everybody feels comfortable. So whether it's black, it's white, it's Hispanic, you know, you're a product. And so you need to be what we need you to be, how we want you to be. And if not, we hate you, and we're going to let you know we hate you. A lot of y'all get the chance to go to your Facebook and vent. And you might have a few people that comment on your posts and care. But, you know, when Kanye says something, all of that energy that he put out to get where he is, it comes back. And you'll find out who really got your back and who really support you, who always really loved you, when you're not comfortable for them. He talked kind of about that with Jay-Z. You know, as long as I'm subservient to Jay-Z and giving Jay-Z what Jay-Z needs, then Jay-Z's fine. And I'm doing the right thing. The moment that I have an original thought and I'm confident in who I am and I want to be me and do what I'm interested in, then you fucking up, Ye. That's what it is. And so I said a couple of days ago, I said, you guys are hammering Ye. And I get it, but I don't. At the end of the day, what has he done that's been so amazingly cruel? You know what I'm saying? That you can't understand his views in the sense that he has the right to present any idea he sees fit. Now, he needs to be held accountable. Because, again, I don't support the same person that he supports politically at all. That's trash. You know. But I'm enlightened. Because this brother seems a lot closer to my wavelength and energy than apart. I look at Ye and I'm listening to him speak right now, and thank everybody for tuning in. I got my homie Al. He just checked in a few moments ago, and I was supposed to go to break and come back and give y'all a little bit more of this and then get out, but I'm going to play a little bit more of this interview. Like, I really value this. This is good for me. Like, I value this, and I think this is something that we all can learn from. If we don't overrate celebrity. Like, we overrate celebrity. We worship these people. And no, I don't. Well, yeah, you do. You do. You kind of do. You know, because your emotions are affected by what these people think, what they say, what they wear, all of these things. And we're seeing Kanye West be transparent. Courtesy of WeGotLove.com. Kanye West, Charlemagne the God. This is a iconic hip hop interview. This is like some of the Tupac interviews. And I never thought I would say that. Like, those interviews you go back and you watch and you realize, wow, this was special, that this was happening. Same thing with Big. You know, Big on Rap, MTV Raps, BET, Rap City. Right after Pac died. Like, everybody remembers that video, that interview. Everybody was wanting to hear from Biggie and see what Biggie wanted to say. Well, how was he going to address this? And I'm proud of the brother for being transparent. I don't have to agree with someone to be proud of their growth and fearlessness. You feel me? So you've missed a good bit of the interview. If you're somebody like Al, shout out to the big homie, though. I know the big homie is always checking on Love Sports and Hip Hop and love us, and we love him back. But I'm going to play some more of it for you. I got you. I'm going to take care of you. Play a little bit more. We'll go to break. We'll come back. And I'm going to discuss, depending on where we end up with the interview, whether or not we'll continue. You know, I probably shouldn't air the entire thing, right? Like, it is courtesy of WeGotLove.com. But this is really good, man. Like, to me, this is really good stuff. It's really good. Tailings, Love Sports and Hip Hop. I love y'all. Trust your boy. I got you. Open your mind up, man. You don't know. You're like Ye said years ago. You ain't did all the education. You ain't got all the answers. Stop this. That's the thing that's really hurting us the most. We think we know every goddamn thing. Everything. If it don't fit our comfort zone and it doesn't, add to the narrative that we're already promoting, then I ain't got time for that shit. And that is it's a sad life to live, man. Like, that's sad. You know what's evil. Out there, Kanye West is evil. Like, we can't go there. Like, that's going too far. That's going too far. Could he be confused? Could he be misled? Could he not be as responsible as he can be with the articulation of his opinions? Absolutely. That's all fair critique. The brother not evil. Y'all got to be careful, man. And if we're not going to do that as companies, Love Sports and Hip Hop and black-owned media outlets are not going to protect our own, then there is no hope of anything. Not me fanning a guy up and worshiping him. I'm not worshiping anybody. This is me I'm presenting to you a different thought. You can go listen to those other stations and they'll tell y'all all the stuff that's conveniently what I believe is promoted intentionally. And that's a way to divide us and to tear each other down. So, yeah, that nigga crazy, bro. That boy a fool, man. What's wrong with that boy? I knew that boy. That's shallow. That's a shallow perspective. Give me something to contemplate. I always been intrigued by somebody that can make me think. Give me some food for thought. Let's get back to this interview, man. Courtesy of We Got Love. It's Love Sports and Hip Hop. WeGotLove.com is where we're getting this interview from. Charlamagne the God interviewing Kanye West.
Expound on that a little bit.
When you want to express yourself, a lot of times words can get in the way. Just this innate feeling that we have, when someone's talking to you, trying to talk you into something or something like that, and you're just like, look, this just don't feel right. Oftentimes people playing ball, doing karate, whatever it is, and people, they don't mention karate since the 80s. Karate used to be the shit, right. But you see all them karate films. But it'll always be, get out of your head. Go from your gut, go from your chi, do what you feel. And that's what I'm big on. Stop strategizing so much. Stop setting so many plays. Stop doing things only based in fear. Like, the universe will assist you when you are acting in love. I tweeted this thing where I said, when you're acting in love, you're like a drop of water and you have the ocean as your army. When you act in fear, it's just you and your money. Now, you could take your money and put it in Bitcoin, put a credit form, put it in cash, or all your cash, and then stand up to the ocean, and who's going to win? Yeah.
I'm understanding. I think your mind state a little bit more like when you was on stage and you'd be going into those rants. Mm-hmm. It was out of fear. You were afraid at that time.
I think those rants, to do the rants, though, we're brave. Mm-hmm. I think we're in a place now where bravery is more important than perfection. Feeling is more important than thought. People they put so much thought into it. What's going to happen? So I actually think that the rants came from a place of bravery, and I had enough of the politics. Mm-hmm. And that's the world that we're in right now. Like, people are speaking their truth. People are expressing themselves. And, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment because it's always been such a, just a politically ran, society and mentality that everyone's been in and stuff like, don't do that. You need to do this. You don't need to hang out with them. You need to hang out with them. Blah, blah, all this, and like trying to please people mm-hmm. and all that stuff. And I don't feel like right now, like people are trying to please people the same way. They trying to please themselves.
That could be a bad thing too, though, right? Because I feel like we're all public servants at the end of the day. We're here to serve the needs of the public. We're all greater than ourselves.
Well, we definitely got to touch on the word bad. and the idea of good and bad. Things just are. It depends on what side you're on, if something is good or bad. It depends on what your agenda is. But of course, we can speak in terms of bad. You know, we haven't got, our language hasn't evolved to what either of us are feeling at this point. So both of us could be thinking in 2030, well, we still got to communicate in 2018 because that's.
I got to pause this shit. This brother, I'm about to tell y'all something, man. This boy, this is like the epitome of artistry. When you've reached a position of freedom and you're not going to allow your artistry to be controlled by commercialism and being defined as just a pop culture icon, he's obviously using his platform to be able to position himself. More power to him. But at the same time, this is, in my opinion, putting Kanye West in the stratosphere where very few artists have been as it relates to social awareness and being responsible with your message. Now, again, that doesn't mean I agree with everything that Kanye will present, everything he says, everything he'll do. But I'm going to name some names to y'all, and y'all can get as mad as you want, or you can understand where I'm coming from. Bob Marley, Tupac Shakur, Kanye West. It's that kind of world that he's, I think, aspiring to. Now, I'm not saying he's there creatively or he's made music that will rival those other two artists that I just mentioned, right? As far as its impact on our society and culturally. But I think the risk and the chance he's taking, and I've always been a big believer in the person taking a chance. I love that. I love you not being comfortable. Like let's do something that other people deem as crazy. Let's take a different approach. Let's look at it upside down. Let's look at it sideways. Let's evaluate it. Let's examine it, and let's do it all for love. You know what I'm saying? I love what I'm hearing. I'm going to read a comment that came from Al. And Big L says, I don't hear that. Big L, you got to open your head up to it, man. You got to listen to what the brother's trying to articulate. Not that you have to agree with them, but understand that he is searching for a freedom that you don't even have in celebrity. Black people, nobody really has it. But speaking of being a black person, you don't have the freedom of expression in celebrity and being black. You don't. And ultimately, you're seeing bits and pieces of all of that resonate within Kanye West. Is he perfect? Is he an idol that somebody should say, I want to aspire to live my life exactly like Kanye West? No, I wouldn't dare say that. But I'm looking at the brother and how he's, as Al said, I've never heard Kanye sound so rational, introspective, and unemotional. I agree with everything he said, everything that Al said, everything. Whether he agrees with him or not, what I look for is how you position your argument. What's your angle? What are you truly saying? I'm trying to identify what's your purpose. I don't have to agree with your purpose. I don't have to follow your purpose. It doesn't have to resonate with me. Those things are all optional, right? But I'd like for you to present a conversation to me with respect. And I feel like that's happening. And with the road that he's on and the chance that he's taking and I don't want to say something else I could say, but he's daring the status quo to do what they want to do, but he's also illuminating their position, meaning that ultimately these folks don't want to see you be free. They want to control our message. They want to dominate our narrative, and then they want to turn us crazy in front of you and make us lunatics until we humble ourselves to a position of having to take from them whatever they'll give us. And then they'll recreate us, put us back out for you to love us again. Like, I'm really decoding what the brother's saying and where he's coming from. I think it's dope. I think it's dope. I think that he has a chance that if he's honestly where he's communicating he's got a chance to be revolutionary in thought and what he's saying and using his influence for a greater cause. And that's what we've been needed artists like this. We've been needed that. And so turning your back on all of the things that you have built already, this fake ass facade of having a bunch of money and all of the fashion and trying to run with the circles of people that'll never accept you, and they're a different breed than you are. It's not why you started. This is not why you started, Ye. But along the way, the same Ye that was in the ciphers in Chicago that was with Black Thought and Common and all those guys, he never went nowhere. He just been in different rooms with different folks. He's been exposed to different things. And so he's going to tell you the whole truth now from his eyes. I got mad respect for the brother. I do. I got mad respect. Mad respect. And I'm going to protect his energy over here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I think it's my and other companies' duty. It's our duty to protect these brothers and make sure that the message that they're trying to speak, we illuminate. And if they're not doing as good of a job communicating it, we can, or we will. You're listening to Love Sports and Hip Hop. WeGotLove.com. This is so important. I'm airing it. I'm running with it until I feel like I can't no more. Back to the interview. Kanye West, Charlamagne the God. This is awesome. I hope y'all are enjoying it.
This is dropping. So
do we though? Because you always seem to play in the future.
Yeah, I guess we don't. I guess we could be in the future.
Yeah, people got to catch up.
Yeah.
You talked about the politics. You know, you said on stage.
I was saying that with the word bad though.
Bad,
you can still use bad as a concept because people are so raised on the idea of home team, away team, positive, negative, good, bad. Like I think negative gets too much of a negative rap. You know, life is a balance.
Yeah, that's what we was talking earlier. I was like, I don't believe in any good or bad experiences. I feel like everything's just a part of the process of life.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about bad experiences that have happened to you, do you still look at them as just bad, or did you learn something from them?
There's no bad. And there's no enemies. Even people who want to kill you are not your enemy. That's something I was going to tweet, and I was like, I feel this, but I don't know if people would take it in a certain way. I've got a lot of ideas that are forward, and I'm just going to keep building like a mountain of like a snowball of ideas, and just keep getting more and more expressive as I go.
So that's what the book is going to be? All those ideas?
But, I don't even know if it's a book. It's like stream. It's all about streams. Everything is stream. That's why that's an amazing word. That's an amazing modern and futuristic word, streams. Mm-hmm. Streams of consciousness, stream in music. Everything is just a stream. It relates to water. It's like exactly, where we will be. We will be, ultralight being an ultralight stream, we will be all just a stream.
I feel like Kanye West, the brand, Kanye West, the man, is rebelling against Kanye West, the brand.
No, my email is not at Kanye West anymore. I've retired from whatever that meant to be Kanye West. But I think my attitude is a representation of for your own truth will live like die tomorrow, so live past me. The Ye, it's like a Pac thing, and so.
That's your name, though. Just like Tupac, that was his name. Like your mother gave you the name Kanye West.
Yeah, and it means the only one. One incredible thing that about when I went to the hospital is Kendrick's just said, what you talked about the band at age 30, right? And I'm like, I made it to 39. I made it to 39 alive with my opinion. Now I'm 40 and I still have my opinion. Mm-hmm. One of the things that was incredible when I, got out of the hospital was I had lost my confidence.
Kanye West with no confidence? That's like Michael Jordan with no jumping.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like, and you could see it. That's when they were saying sunken place and all this stuff. It's like, and wow, I never had the empathy for people who lacked confidence. I had so much of it. I didn't know what it was like to be without it.
Do you mean zero confidence, or you just was less confident than usual?
It just wasn't Black Panther, Superman level confidence. It was, it was placed into the simulation and shit. I was like, completely could be like molded and controlled and everything. If that was the case, if I was, I wouldn't speak up. I'm gonna speak up and stuff. Like where I was when I got to the hospital, it's even when I did the next fashion show, it got all these good reviews. Yeah, because I was less confident. Because it's like, there, boy, that's exactly what we wanted.
Ah, okay. Okay. So you traded authenticity for approval.
I didn't trade it. I just didn't have it. I didn't have me. I didn't have my confidence. So that superpower could never, like if I was like homeless, any situation, you could take everything. You could Black Mirror me. You could put shit on the media and say, yay, fuck the GOAT, and all this type of shit, and you will not take my confidence.
What took his confidence? That's literally like somebody being kryptonite to Superman.
That's what it was.
Taking the herb from Black Panther. What took your confidence?
I know exactly what it was. It had something to do. I mean, be a doctor could give an explanation. It had to do something with coming through the breakthrough. I like all of the breakthrough and not the breakdown. Coming through the breakthrough that, but also I think was incredible because it was a forced amount. It was forced humility. Because positive and negative humility, it just is what it is. But obviously I would have looked at it more of a negative thing, even for certain definitions. It kind of got negative. But as we said before, no positive negative. But also that humility gave me time to grow. And it backed off. A lot of people depend on me. They ask for a lot of things. Man, do this for me. One of the things that the irony, because people always talk about the sunken place, and
you seen the meme. They got the meme of you, and you're the main character from Get Out with the tears in your eyes, and Chris doing the teacup.
Yeah, that I never saw the meme, but I get the picture of it. The funny thing about that is that my wife, she's like, I'm responsible. Like, Ye's mom has passed away. I'm responsible to take care of the superhero. And my mom might have had these things where she made sure I never took my Superman cape off. I got this rap that say, parents ought to strip gives it a confidence. Teach white dominance. Question your common sense. I've been watching the Amarants. Hopped off the Mustad and made I'm a god. Now, when I said it, I like it for this interview. When I said it on a song, I didn't like the frequency of it because it felt dated, because it touched on race too much. Mm-hmm. So it's not that racism. We definitely are dealing with racism, but I want to push future concepts. Now I'm giving you two streams of consciousness in one. I want to talk about my wife. I also want to talk about Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill.
We're following you. We're following it all. You set it up good. Okay.
That was the moment that I wanted to use Bitcoin, and I saw Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill.
Why?
It's like when you just see all the slave movies, it's like, why you got to keep reminding us about
love, sports, and hip-hop. We have audio issues from what I'm hearing according to the interview, so maybe I'm going to pause it for a minute, kind of add some more commentary, and come back to it. Hopefully it'll get better for you guys on your end. It's really, really nice over here on my end. Let's see what... We have a couple of different comments. We have Dr. Gary has come in and he says, damn, Kanye is an artist. People need to dig into the next layers of this. I co-signed it and say, yeah, man, this is it's brilliant. And I think I know what's happening. Let me do this. Let me bring it down a little bit. We might have a little bit of audio popping that could be occurring because of the output. So maybe that's a little bit better now on my end. Chuck chimes in. I haven't read Chuck's comment. I'll read it now. Kanye needs to stop talking and do like Prince was doing, invest in the hood. Time to build and fashion new communities. Remember the havoc that occurred after Katrina. The rap community did raise money, but we gave it to the colonizers to manage. If we want to change our circumstances, stop talking and create opportunities. I don't disagree with that, but I will say this. I do think it's valuable to use your platform to communicate your message. And so I do think that actions should correspond your message. I do think it's also valuable, equally valuable, to have a message out there that inspires people to consider things differently, and not always look at something in the easy, usual, low fruit hanging capacity. That's just always, who I know I've been. I've always been a person that looks past the low fruit. Like anybody could grab that. Like I want to, what's up top of the tree, or what hasn't come to fruition yet that maybe the tree is going to give us that I can anticipate. And while you guys are going for that, I could find something else. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily have a problem with Kanye discussing his position. I honestly agree with Dr. Gary in the sense that I think it's artistic beyond just musical. This is what the full manifestation of being an artist is all about. What we're hearing now, the freedom to paint with the brush and the colors that you want, and not allowing that art to be simply viewed as a commercial product to be controlled and manipulated, and art inspired by life, and life inspired by your connection to legacy, to the universe, to God, to all those things. And so this is brilliant. I am thoroughly enjoying this. I'm going to see that and hope. If you guys have any audio issues, please let me know. If it's cutting in and out, if it's speeding up, whatever's happening, let me know. I want to make sure that you're getting it as good as I'm hearing it on my end with this interview. Again, this is Kanye West, Charlamagne the God, courtesy of WeGotLove.com. Back to the interview.
Slavery. Why don't you show us, put Michael Jordan on a $20 bill?
But Harriet Tubman was the slave who rebelled, though. Like her and Nat Turner in a different frequency, though. They kind of were like you when you said you didn't feel like being controlled.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny, like, my boy Tremaine tweeted, a picture of me and Virgil, and he said, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And all these people got mad. It's like, how can you compare them to that? Man, I know this is going to cause an uproar, but certain icons is just too far in the past and not relatable, and that's what makes them safe. Like, they'll let you go on the Grammys and talk about slavery and all that and racism because it's not talking about buying stock. It's not talking about buying property.
Yeah, economic empowerment.
Yeah, it's not talking about economic power. You can complain as hard as you want on that platform, but it's not scary. Well,
that's what ultimately got Martin Luther King Jr. killed. Like, it wasn't when he was fighting for civil rights. It's when he started talking about economic empowerment, when he was planning things like the Poor People's March, which was going to be the largest march on Washington with people of all colors that were just poor and disenfranchised. That's when they took Martin out.
Scary.
How's the comparison with you and Virgil, though? What was it?
We were saying that he's more Martin, I'm more Malcolm. But there is a civil rights element to the ability to create your own industry. Because even when we did rap, everything we got, basketball and rap are both someone else's industry. So you're always a player. It took Michael Jordan a long time to become an owner.
With that said, because you mentioned Virgil, like he's now the creative director for Louis Vuitton. I feel like he went from being an owner with Off-White to now being a player. How do you feel about that?
Some people have to do things just to prove that they can be done. And whether they become the billionaire, on the other side of it, Obama went into that office as a public servant in a service position. And it didn't matter the amount of money. It didn't matter the amount of ownership. The world needed to see that this was a possibility. So for Virgil, it's like the world just needs to see things. I was afraid to speak the way I speak now. I was afraid to show you my office in Calabasas. I was afraid to show you this 300 acres that I just purchased that I'm building my first community on, my first 5 properties on, because, I felt like it would be shut down. But it's not about me. Even if I got killed tomorrow and they shut everything down, the fact that I put the idea out is the Black Panther shit. That is a kid watching this in high school and a kid in college. Because at a certain point, Pac, at a certain point, he just had to message and hand the baton. He's like, I might not be here.
I may not change the world, but I may spark the seed in somebody else that may change the world.
Yeah, and that's the thing. The problem is, obviously, self-preservation is the first law of nature. But people won't hand over codes completely to the next generation out of just protecting themselves. Like some of the stuff we're touching on is very scary. And I'm having to be brave to talk to you about it. There's so many elements in our life that create an icon that you're supposed to feel like you're not as good as the icon. I have an issue with that. I'm just going to say it. Backlash, whatever. I have an issue with ideas that are presented that make you feel less for your entire life.
We look at human beings as more than men or more than women.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when they do something that's human,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, they've let us down.
Oh, yeah, bro. When I was in the hospital, especially the black people that worked at the hospital, and I was on that hospital bed, and I felt like they were like my family members, and I looked at them in their eyes, and I don't know, it was like the tribe or something. It's like as much as I want to say we're one race, or one humanity, one living organism, there is an element of the black celebrity in America. Mm-hmm. And when I was laid out in a hospital bed looking through the window at a black UCLA employee, I felt like I had let them down. I felt like they was looking at me like just shaking their head. Not just sad. It's like, yo, that's Ye. That's Ye in that hospital bed. That's our Ye, bro. Like that's our Ye juice. Like he can't, like they can't break him.
Mm-hmm. That is your tribe though. I think one of the big moments was when you met with Donald Trump. And I think that let a lot of people down.
The funny thing is, I always think about that Dave Chappelle skit of was Benjamin Bixby? They created,
You're talking about the blind racists, right?
Yeah, the blind racists and stuff like
Clayton
that.
Bigsby, I think
Clayton
his name
Bigsby,
was,
right? It's like, I felt like when I came out and expressed what I said and what I felt, that was almost like a Clayton Bigsby moment when everybody's head exploded. Like, my Ye, George Bush don't care about black people, cannot in any way, this dude has to like diss Trump at all costs, everything about it. And some dynamics to this. So many people around me said, don't express your feelings. Why? Your brand, this, that.
You said you voted for him. That's the feeling you're talking about, right?
Yeah, that feeling, yeah. Because people, first thing they say is racism. They say, well, what makes George Bush any more racist than Trump? Is a question my friend asked me. My response is, well, racism isn't the deal breaker for me. If that was the case, I wouldn't live in America.
That's some rich nigga shit there, though. That's some rich nigga talk.
Oh no, as a rich nigga, I deal with racism. I do, especially in this gay community of all this type of shit. I deal with it. So I got love for Obama. I got love for everybody, every human being that ever existed. But I felt like Obama was perfect. He was almost like Nike, or is, where if you saw, or Nike when I was at Nike, not Nike now, when I was at, if you sow in the good with everything and you got your whole thing planned out and strategized, if you have like a rogue character like me that comes in and says, we need to do this for Chicago, we need to do this, that, you're going to take it with a grain of salt. You're going to be cordial. You're going to be all that, but you're like, you're not really going to change anything. Nike, when I was at Nike, they weren't willing to change anything. Mm-hmm. Phil Knight, who I have the most respect for, and I have respect for everyone at Nike too. These guys, Mark Parker, I just got to speak out as a parent, and apologize to this man for ever speaking ill on his name and his company. Because he gave me that shot when we did the original Yeezy at Nike. And he was there with me. I was on a plane with him. I was sketching. And he said, look at this sketch. I'm going to give this guy a chance. And he put me next to Tinker Hatfield. And it's me and Don C. making the first Yeezy with Tinker Hatfield and Mark Parker. That was the squad that made the original Nike Yeezy. So I always wanted to express that as a father, and and when my karma comes, I'll accept it in real time.
All right.
Like Kill Bill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When that karma comes to get you.
Well, people speak out of frustration sometimes.
Yeah, but I got some karma waiting on me. But I just wanted to express that, because we're putting into the universe only good energy. And every moment was a great moment, because if Mark Parker hadn't given me that moment, then he helped turbocharge me, and the combination of Louis Vuitton. I had a Louis Vuitton sneaker and Nike sneaker come out at the same time. So they helped turbocharge me. And I had a conversation with my friend in Chris's house down the street. And you talk about some rich nigga shit, I'll tell you some regular man shit that every man deals with. My girlfriend has a child. We have a baby. You make decisions in your life based on providing for your family. I love Nike. I love the Nike. I have to put the ED on it for the stockholders. So, but when I was, young, I used to sketch, the swoosh, everything, So it was heartbreaking for me to have to leave Nike, but they refused to allow me to get royalty on my shoe. And I knew I had the hottest shoe in the world. I knew Yeezy was the hottest brand in the world, but I couldn't get royalties. They just said, look, you can make 5,000 shoes or 10,000 shoes, and we'll give some of the proceeds to your favorite charity. But it was nothing to build. Now we build in factories. They wouldn't let me build anything.
You're trying to create generational wealth.
Yeah, and just put out more amazing ideas to the world. Both things, generational wealth, more ideas. My friend was at Chris's house and expressed to me that he had received a royalty because he was a store. And I'm Yeezy, and they wouldn't give me a royalty? That was like the final straw. I was talking to Puma and talking to Adidas. The dude that didn't sign me at Puma definitely needs to lose his job and stuff. Like, I'm not going to say his name, but can you imagine? So, because, with that infrastructure and these ideas and this connection I have, it wasn't no way it wasn't going to be a unicorn. Yeezy's a unicorn. It's $1 billion company. We were at 15 million 2 years ago.
Wow.
And we're going to hit 1 billion this year. It's never ever been heard of. So
does that make you anxious? Does that give you anxiety?
Nah.
Okay.
It's what it's supposed to be. If I really had some percentage that related to my actual influence, I'd be like a multi-trillionaire. So that's fine. You know?
Right.
So I made the decision, and I left, and I went with someone that would allow me to build something. You know, I can call the CEO of Adidas directly. I have his cell phone. Mark Parker wouldn't get on the phone with me.
Really? I don't even think you should be apologizing to him then. If he wouldn't even give you a courtesy call.
Yeah, you know, they'd say things like, I don't know why people like the Yeezys. And, you know, various. So, and the funny thing is, look at Nike now. Literally, all the people that ever work with me are like the hottest people at Nike now. Like, they gave them the deals because we left and ripped their heads off.
How did that make you feel when they leave you to go back to a place that stifled y'all, basically?
Who are you saying? You talking about like
The
Virgil
people that used to
and
work
Matt
with you,
Williams and Don?
Virgil, yeah.
They got families, bro. You know, these corporations, they provide an opportunity. These are my friends. They have families. If I'm not going to provide them the same opportunity, I'm not going to stand in their way either.
But you are providing them the same opportunity. It's just more of a, y'all are building something as opposed to something that already exists now. Like those.
A lot of times people like the room, the space. You know, when you get such a big corporation, you could build up your own brand next to it. If you're really, you know, close to me, it's just going to be my brand. Mm-hmm. So if people, you know, want to build their own brand, actually need to be as far away from me as possible to get out of the shadow.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird because, you know, you being Kanye West, the heat that you bring heats them up just enough. Like, I wouldn't know a Virgil if he hadn't been Kanye West's creative director, creative collaborator, whatever you wanted to call it.
Yeah. It's interesting how it all unfolds. And you feel different ways. There's mixed emotions. They're like, oh, this is my crew. My crew is working for Nike, killing it. You know, I want my crew next to me because, like, when I get on the phone with Virgil, that's my, you know, that's my team. He's like the strategist. Mm-hmm. I'm the emoter. I'm like Tesla. I'm thinking of all the ideas, like Nikola Tesla, like not the car. And I'm thinking of all these ideas, and Virgil's able to take all of those ideas and then architect them because he is an architect. Mm-hmm. Like you went to school for architecture. Mm-hmm. But also this is great training. You know, people gotta, like I heard Nike does stuff like sends people to business school, but they're still like at Nike. Mm-hmm. Like best believe Don, Matt, Virgil, Jerry, still Donda at the end of the day. Louis Vuitton is still Donda at the end of the day. So I know we're going back to the presidential thing. So
yeah, I want to go back to Virgil too, but let's go back to the president thing. I'm still trying to figure out what's the correlation between Obama, Nike, and how it relates to Trump.
See, Obama came to me before he ran for office, and he met with me and my mother to let me know he was going to run for office because I am his favorite artist of all time, because I am the greatest artist of all time. It only makes sense. He got good taste.
Yeah, he got his confidence back.
No, I'm just saying that it's a flat statement. Up to this point, you know, after me, there will be greater. You know, but this is yay. Like this is like past anything that's happened up to this point. This is the best.
Even the Michael Jackson, Prince, Stevie Wonder, whoever else you want to throw out there.
Because I throw Howard Hughes in there. I throw Henry Ford. Mm-hmm. I throw Walt Disney. I throw Steve Jobs.
Gotcha.
In there also.
So you can't say it's a lie because something like that is a matter of opinion.
Yeah, and
it's a barbershop debate.
They're right. It's not even a debate. It's just the truth. Yeah, it's, man, when you the greatest, it's funny, man. You know what I mean? Like Ali lived a great life. you got to know who you are. You
Absolutely.
know? You got to know who you are. So Obama, it's like, he's like my favorite artist. I want your support. I'm running for office. I'm like, oh, this is dope. You know, we're going to get a black president. This dude's mad cool. He's from, you know, Chicago. Then when I went on stage, and it would have been good if this video didn't get out, but you saw the video.
We called you a jackass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he never called me to apologize. Just the same person that sat down with me and my mom, I think should have communicated to me directly and been like, yo, yay. Yo, you know what it is. You know, I'm in the room and it's just a joke, you know.
I wonder why he said that, though. I mean, at that time, some words from Obama probably could have helped ease the situation out a little bit. You know what I mean? As opposed to calling you a jackass and pouring more fuel on the fire.
You know, nobody's perfect. I love Obama. I'm sure we'll hang out, go to Richard Branson's island, whatever. You know what I mean? It'll be cool. I just think that we were in a period where, you know, he had so much stuff to deal with. He couldn't deal with a, you know, wild card like me. I think that's too unpredictable. Someone that wasn't being controlled by strategy and thoughts with someone who's acting on feelings.
We knew that already up to that point, though. I mean, if anything, when you said George Bush don't care about black people on stage in front of millions live, people should have realized at that moment we can't control that guy.
Yeah, you think people would have realized that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Guess they didn't. So, and I felt a way a little bit about Obama that I'm your favorite artist. You play Touch the Sky at your inauguration. And now all of a sudden, Kendrick and Jay and all the people you invite to the White House, like now, these your favorite rappers now. And I ain't got no problem with these rappers, but you know I'm your favorite. But I'm not safe. But that's why you love me. So just tell me you love me. That's all, and tell the world you love me. Don't tell the world I'm a jackass. I'm fighting hard enough. Something about me going on stage was similar to what you was doing. Because I'm fighting to break the simulation, break the setup. That didn't make no sense. It's not that I'm particularly fighting for Beyonce's video. It was every time a award show has ever done that. Just fucking with artists. Mm-hmm. We are HSP, highly sensitive people. Artists, that's what you love about us. So you gonna line up a whole bunch of artists and put them in some bum-ass suits and shit? It's an idea from like 200 years ago. We dressed like we 200 years ago, lined up, trying to wait for a gold statue, and you gonna make us feel like shit? You know, it's 5 of us and shit, and 4 of us gotta go to the restaurant with our friends and be like, man, we ain't win nothing. Mm-hmm. Fuck that. Man, fuck that.
I remember you said that you was upset because Beyonce said she would refuse to perform at the VMAs unless she won the award. I was wondering, I think that was in Sacramento you went on that rant.
Now, you know what? I don't know if that's true. I honestly don't know if that's a true thing.
That was like an alternative fact. That was fake news you put out there.
No, someone told me that.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't heard that from her, and it's not confirmed. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it's true. So that show you, like, people put thoughts in your head to separate. Mm-hmm. You know, it's people who play both sides. People always talk about switching sides. There's people who will literally talk to you that get a piece of information, drop a negative piece, talk to the other side, get some information, drop negative piece of information on both sides. Mm-hmm. And then they show up and be like, what's up? You know, so I don't know. So I could talk to them directly. It's neither here nor there to me. But at that point, when I was on my way to the hospital, that affected me because I'm pure. Mm-hmm. It's like you don't appreciate pure. It's like if you don't appreciate pure, this is like more the Obama thing. Like you don't appreciate purity. You don't understand the amount of bravery that it takes to be pure into your
Love sports and hip hop. I'm trying to give Kanye West, before we kind of move on, I'm going to extend this show because I want to talk about tonight's NBA games and etc. I'm trying to give Kanye an opportunity to explain how he can justifiably support Donald Trump. I want to read a few comments, a few from Al, a few from Dr. G, who says, like this Nike stretch of dialogue is a diversion from using artistry to influence humanity. It's like Thanos changing things with the snap of the gauntlet, which if you haven't seen the Avengers, you have until tomorrow, because I'm going to come on here and talk about Thanos and him being the baddest villain in the history of the game. Like, the ending of the movie and how homie just did what he did, I'm just trying to tell you. You need to go see it, okay? And I got something for you when you finish. I also want to add a few comments here from Al, who says, Kanye, you think people would have realized that I'm a damn fool, huh? As it relates to Kanye speaking up, in a couple of moments where he's decided to, the Taylor Swift moment and the George Bush doesn't care about black folk. I think the conversation about Obama is insightful because I believe it points to his feelings truly being hurt. That this whole facade about supporting Donald Trump, while he does exercise some opinions that most intelligent black folk have as it relates to being dissatisfied with what we have seen from our government officials that we elect, which predominantly are Democrats in how we elect them to represent, obviously, our community. That's nothing new. That conversation has been a part of our dialogue for a long time. I'm waiting to hear a justifiable reason. And I'm not saying justifiable that I have to co-sign. What's your reasoning? Al says, Jay, stop with the spoilers. I'm not saying anything else. Well, be good. Please go see the movie between tonight and tomorrow. I want to talk to it with my audience. I want to talk to it. I want to tell y'all about the movie. I want to get your opinion. Okay? So do that. Go see the movie. Go enjoy it. The Pelicans will win tonight, so, you be straight. But I am awaiting. I'm going to give Kanye maybe 5 to 10 more minutes, hopefully to transition to something else and having answered the question as to how can you support a guy that pretty much is anti a lot of the stuff that you stated earlier in this interview. Again, this is not me co-signing Kanye. I like what also my homie man Big L said. He said, Jay, I bet you got Yeezys. I don't have any Yeezys in my collection. I never liked the shoe. I actually like the Nike shoe he did, though. I do. I don't like the Adidas brand of the shoe. That I'm not liking. So, let's give Ye a little bit more time. I appreciate y'all. I have such an awesome audience. You can disagree with Ye and say, hey, Jay putting them on is for conversation purposes. We'll listen to it. I probably wouldn't have given it this much of a listen. And, we hit the sports shit that we get ready to talk in a few minutes. And we'll get into that. I got y'all. I'm going to take care of you. Ye started tripping, though. Greatest artist of all time. See, that's the side of Ye that made me like, oh, damn, Ye, like you. I'm not saying don't know who you are. I'm not saying don't aspire to be the greatest. I'm not saying none of that. Just, come on now. Come on now. I personally I'm not a fan of Ye's fashion pieces. I'm not. Just don't resonate with me. Love sports and hip hop, Jill Leans. This interview is aired courtesy of WeGotLove.com. This is a 2-hour plus interview. Of course, I'm not airing that. We've done about an hour of it already. Okay? I'm not airing this entire interview. I'm trying to get to the part of him answering the damn question that he was asked. How do you support Donald Trump? Let's see if he answers it.
30s and be a black in America and famous, like the amount of Richard Pryor has this piece where he talks about that. He says, there's no such thing as someone making it and remaining pure. I'm talking to you in a stream right now. I'm 40 years old. I got a family. I'm famous. I got a $1 billion business. And I'm speaking to you in a stream. Yeah, that bothered me, but I'm not saying I have a problem with that. I just want to put this out into the universe just to kind of give some people something to think about.
No, it's interesting. It's like it's a very Gemini thing. You know, you see the traits, you see in you and in the Pac. It's like, what's wrong with expressing how you feel? You know what I mean? You get to this point where you're Kayne West, the superstar of the brand, and it's like they want you to be everything but human. But you're a human being. Human beings got emotions.
They want you to be everything but you.
But you, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I'm just saying, if you feel a way about, you know, something you heard that Beyonce did, or you feel a way about Obama calling you a jackass, you should be able to express that.
Oh yeah. And then I also had a problem, you know, that Obama's from Chicago, and Chicago's the murder capital of the world. You know, I had a number of things that made me say, just like how there's racist Trump supporters, there's things where I'm like, well, maybe this could make a difference.
You felt like President Obama could have waved the magic wand and just got Chicago right?
It's not a magic wand. You know what? It's not his fault, man. You seen that gray hair on that man? You don't know what that man was dealing with. I mean, you can only imagine, but just, it took everything for him to, everything in that man's spirit and soul to not mention racism every sentence. This man was a Jackie Robinson of politics. You know, he was the first person to do it. So, you know, we want to be supportive and be aligned also. But this isn't like an absolute soundbite. This isn't an absolute opinion on either one.
It's complex. Yeah.
This is complex.
Yeah.
Because these are voices. I might be president one day. You know, so I might be in that situation where it's harder for me to explain to the masses why something isn't happening that they feel that the concept of a president should be able to fix. So to Obama, I will say that I understand, bro. I understand, like JD not coming to the wedding. They just had an altercation. I understand. But I have my feelings also.
All right.
So it's complex.
When's the last time you even spoke to Obama? Was that the last time when he met with you and your mom?
We did a fundraiser for a midterm for them in San Francisco. And we did a performance for them. And right before I went on stage, someone let me know that he had left.
So you didn't even get to see him that day?
I saw him beforehand.
Before, okay.
Yeah.
He left right before you performed?
Yeah.
So that made you feel away?
I felt the way, bro.
You just don't reach out to the brother, man.
I felt the way.
You can get in touch with him just to let him know, like, I feel away.
He'll see this interview.
Right.
We talk.
Yeah.
I felt the way. I be feeling away, bro. I be feeling away. I got feelings, bro. I be feeling away, bro. I be feeling away.
Is that feeling because these are people that you've assisted and helped them maybe possibly get to the point that they're at, and then when they get there, they don't give you that same love in return or support in return when you need it?
Nobody owes me anything, but I'm still going to feel what I feel.
Right.
And I understand that's the thing where sometimes a conversation can help show respect for a situation. You know, look, I couldn't do this because of these reasons. You know how it is. You see my hair. It's crazy out here. I'm near the free world, yeah. Sorry for calling you jackass. I appreciate your I appreciate your Gemini, your Tupacness. Somebody's gonna, because I'm president, I can't do it. But I appreciate that somebody is still willing to do it. That's why I got the interview with you. You know what I'm saying? You go off truth. You know, you risk your life. You know.
Is the feeling? What was the feeling that made you say, I want to go meet with Donald Trump? And what Ye are we talking about when that happened? Was that the Ye with no confidence? Was that the Ye who was trying to figure things out? What Ye was that?
Yeah, but I'm not going to back down at that. I'm not going to let myself off easy by saying, I met with Trump just because I was going through something. I ain't going to give the universe that. Nah, I'm going to face it, and they going to face me. This was the Ye that wanted to do something to change something. And I would meet with them today, and I would talk about Chicago. First, talk about some more things. We could eventually get into a lot of, elements. But we start there.
Do you think he cares about black people?
What do you think? No, I'm not even going to hit you with a question to your question. I hate when people do that to me.
You can ask me, though.
That's fire because you used the George Bush quote against me. Do you think he cared about black people?
It was early on when you met with him. He hadn't even really been, acting president. Now we've got a year and nothing good come of Donald Trump being the White House. Other than people starting to build their own. Like you talked about when you left Nike, because Nike didn't allow you to build your own.
Damn, Charlamagne, you getting in the way. The question was out there, and you saving his ass. I wouldn't have said nothing. Let him answer the damn question. It was a beautiful question. It was a beautiful question. As Ms. Nick is telling me, we having some audio issues. I hope you guys are not having any audio issues. If you did have any, Charlamagne asked Kanye directly, do you think Donald Trump cares about black people? And we were waiting on Kanye's response, and Kanye is paused. He's not able. He was getting ready to ask a question back to him, and then, he says, "Oh, well, you used my own quote against me," and now he's talking more. And I'll see where this goes, but I'm going to be very upset if we don't get a direct answer to that question, because it was a great question, great setup, and we need Kanye to answer the question. I don't really want Charlamagne to get in between here and stop him from answering the question. So, damn. Let's see what happens.
I think Donald Trump is forcing us to build our own. It's a difference.
Bro, I'm doing my landscape in the back of my crib. Rich nigga shit, right? Before we could put all the trees and add the beauty, you gotta break some things. If you keep on getting just the beauty, just the perfect thing, just the Obama walk through the hallway, he don't even walk, his feet don't even touch the floor, he's just floating. Give her a handshake and all that. You know what I mean? You get all of these images. This is what it is. This is what I wanted to talk about. The idea of black perfection. Like a black person can't be imperfect in the public eye. That's a form of control. I'm here to show you imperfection. The beauty is in the imperfection, that this is possible. When I'm sitting there at the award show, and I'm like, man, this is the Staples Centers. They play ball here. Y'all gonna sit through this and let this mind manipulation tell you that, someone, I'm not even gonna put no energy out. We keeping a positive energy like that.
I know exactly what you're saying. That's what they used to say about Barack. Barack had to be perfect, because if he wasn't perfect, then we probably would never get another one.
That's like the Virgil situation, right?
Love Sports and Hip Hop. You show me, Jailines. We are airing this interview, and we'll have to be responsible in the sense that it doesn't look like Kanye's going to answer the question. Doesn't look like we're going to get to the bottom of it. If we do get to the bottom of it, we'll listen to the rest of this interview on our own. If we get to the bottom of it, we will definitely give you guys the feedback. It was a great question. I didn't hear an answer to it, and that's a damn shame that we're here. There's a lot to react to. I want to give everybody the opportunity to kind of digest what they've already heard, and you got your opinions already, and we've kind of had a responsible discussion accordingly today. It's a big interview. You're going to hear a lot about it across a variety of networks, social media. People will be talking about it. I do think it's an iconic interview. I do appreciate Charlamagne sitting down with Kanye to conduct this interview. And I will be listening to the interview in its entirety. And on tomorrow, if there's anything else noteworthy in the interview, I'll definitely come back and notate it and bring it to you. I appreciate my audience for going through this process and this journey with me. I know you guys have your opinions. Today I didn't open up the phone lines, but we will. We have a way to call into our show now. Okay, so be on the lookout for that, as we actually tested that last night with Miss Sneak in the conversation on last night, prime time on a Monday night. Speaking of prime time, tonight we got NBA games. This is what I'm going to do. I need to transition, okay? Can I transition a little bit? Started off the show with some R&B, and I'm going to come back to the R&B. I'm not leaving the R&B alone. I just need a little pick-me-up with some of the music, okay? So we're going to do that. Let's do this. And let me make sure that we don't have any mishaps here with any of the audio. And I definitely got to take care of my partner and in a story that I read about him on NOLA.com today. Guy that I went to school with. Very good story. I'll come back and tell you guys about that momentarily. But let's take a quick break, if you guys don't mind. I want to take a quick break, come back, and we'll talk some NBA. We'll get into some NBA. We also have some NFL news concerning Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. You know, we talked about him prior to the draft. Buffalo ended up selecting him, and there's some people who says, hey, he got some explaining to do when he gets up in here. You got to come talk to us. We got to have a conversation. So, yeah, we'll do that. You know what? Where do I want to go right now? We talked about the movie Black Panther, and we didn't really talk about Black Panther. I apologize. The Avengers, okay? And my boy said, Jay, stop with the spoilers, man. Don't give them away. I'll tell you this right now. If you're looking for me to compare the movies ranking-wise, one is definitely better than the other. Okay, I can say that, at least my opinion. All right, and without making it too complicated, I think Black Panther was the better movie. All right, so yeah, I'll say that. And since we're talking about the Avengers and Captain America and Iron Man and Thor and the Incredible Hulk and et cetera, I might as well play something from the Marvel family. You feel me? It's Kendrick Lamar, who did a wonderful job with this particular album. I think this is incredible. Kendrick Lamar on the weekend. Pray for me. Be right back in about 3 minutes and a half. We'll get into some sports talk. It's your boy Jellings, Love Sports and Hip Hop. Enough of Kanye. We got an hour plus of Kanye. We back more Love Sports and Hip Hop.
I'm always ready for a war again. Go down that road again. It's all the same. I'm always ready to take a life again. I'll ride again. It's all the same. Tell me who's gonna save me from myself when this life is all I know. Tell me who's gonna save me from this hell. Without you, I'm alone. Who gon' pray for me? Take my pain for me. Save my soul for me. I fight the world, I fight you, I fight myself, I fight God, just tell me how many burdens left. I fight pain and hurricanes, today I wept. I'm trying to fight back tears, flood on my doorsteps. Life and living hell, puddles of blood in the street, shooters on top of the building, government aid ain't relief. Earthquake, the body drop, the ground breaks, the poor run with smoke lungs and scarred face. Who need a hero? You need a hero, look in the mirror, there go your hero. Who on the front lines at ground zero? My heart don't skip a beat even when hard times bumps the needle. Mass destruction and mass corruption, the souls of suffering men, clutching on deaf ears again, rapture is coming. It's all prophecy, and if I gotta be sacrificed for the greater good, then that's what it gotta be. You gon' pray for me, take my pain for me, save my soul for me, 'cause I'm alone to see. If I gon' die for you, if I gon' kill for you, then I spill this blood for you. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Love, sports, hip-hop. Show me Jaleens, man. We're back. Getting ready to switch topics here. Getting ready to get to another topic. We have NBA games on the slate for tonight. Two of them. Two intriguing matchups. We have game one of the Eastern Conference semifinals matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. Cleveland will be in Toronto. It's a 7 o'clock Central Standard Time start. And LeBron James will see if, he can will his team into the next round of the playoffs. And that journey starts tonight in Toronto. I'm indifferent. I really am. I am really indifferent. I'm not a fan of the Toronto Raptors. I don't care. I have a guy that I respect the hell out of, and Al, and he's a fan of the Cavaliers, and I get it. I wish LeBron misery. I just do, man. I wish him misery on the court. I do. Miss every shot tonight, LeBron. Miss dunks, miss all free throws, get shook a million times and lose and get benched. That's if I had to create my own scenario, that's what it would look like. However, that's obviously not going to happen. That's not going to be the reality. LeBron will probably get a triple-double because I'm talking so crazy, right? It is what it is. Toronto's a team who still needs to prove themselves, and until I see them out LeBron, I'm not going to pick against LeBron. I think if LeBron is going to lose in the Eastern Conference, it'll be in the next round against, more than likely, the Boston Celtics. And we'll talk more about that. I know y'all like, Jay, it's one game. You're tripping. Hey, Philly's the more talented team. They're also younger. And I think Boston has the better coach. I really do believe that. So I've got Boston getting into the NBA Finals. That's kind of changed. I had Philly, but it's something about the way Boston's playing right now. Like, they really believe in themselves, and I'm going to back that. Sometimes it's just meant for you to do what you do, and they'll be even better next year. Speaking of Boston, their football team, the New England Patriots, an interesting rumor out there, and hopefully, yes, it's muted, so you guys won't be able to hear this advertisement coming in. We talked about the Browns last week, and I said, what the hell are the Browns doing? How could you draft Baker Mayfield number 1 overall? Why the hell would you do that? Well, according to the agent that represents Baker Mayfield, the New England Patriots indicated to him that they were considering trading up to the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft if the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback out of Oklahoma was available. Mayfield's agent, Jack Mills, made his comments on the Business of Sports with Andrew Branded podcast. Mayfield ended up being the number 1 overall pick by the Cleveland Browns instead. Interesting. So maybe that leads to the reason why the Browns felt inclined, okay? They felt inclined to make that ludicrous pick because my Patriots are getting ready to do something asinine. Al says, all you have to do, Jay, is wish on your Laker fandom that he plays like Kobe did his last 3 years. He would be benched for sure. I'm not listening to you. I'm not listening to you, Al. Kobe got 5 of them things, man. They shiny. He was the man. He didn't leave, okay? Kobe scored 60 points on his way out. Came back against the Utah Jazz. Phenomenal, okay? Kobe didn't ring chase, okay? Kobe was content with whatever destiny had provided for him. And I have nothing but admiration and respect for Kobe Bryant. He's the second greatest player of all time, at least definitely at the two-guard position. Second greatest backcourt player of all time, right? Can I say that? Can I say that? Is that okay to say? You have Michael Jordan, then you have Kobe Bryant. That's my backcourt. I don't even need a point guard with them two. I just don't. And some of y'all are probably like, Jay, you tripping. Who gonna pass who the ball? They'll figure it out. They will figure it out. But that's my homies. Both of them, 23 and 24. Okay? Got about 11 minutes or so left for today's show. You're like, Jay, damn, homie. Like, you gonna just, I got you. Chill out. I'm going to come in and pop in during the game tonight, okay? I will do that. I'll get on my phone, and I'm going to I'm going to pop up with some little snippets of my emotions and my feelings, all right? I'll do that tonight. Now, here's the only thing that I will say. If for some reason the Pelicans are losing tonight and I get a little sleepy, you can't hold it against me. You cannot hold that against me, okay? Jay, I also heard that 17 teams favored Darnold with the number 1 pick. 3 teams besides the Browns favored Mayfield, and 2 other teams would have picked Allen. Wow. I feel bad for the Browns and the Saints after the draft. Both teams, in my opinion, come away looking like complete ass clowns. But here's the thing about the Browns that I will say. You guys at least have a chance to make me feel, bad about my decision on my pick, because you did get, what I do believe to be 2 quality players. I don't know if they were picked in the spots that I would have necessarily taken them, but I do think both are NFL caliber talents, and they're not busts, okay? And if you do right with Baker Mayfield, and you have a quarterback coach there, maybe, just maybe, your fortunes will turn around. My New Orleans Saints moved up 13 spots, gave up their first-round pick, as well as their 5th-round pick. They did not have a second-round pick, and then gave up their first-round pick of next year for a kid out of University of San Antonio, Texas, which I just don't really understand that. I just don't. I don't. I know that he was probably going to be picked in the middle rounds, and if you had that pick there, I get it. But for it to cost you your number 1 next year, it just looks like a team that's desperate. You're just making irrational moves. And, let's be honest, when you talk about the Saints, would you look at the Saints any differently if they finished 10-6 this year or 9-7? Based upon what they did last year, because maybe, let's say, Atlanta, is good and they maybe win a game against the Saints, and then Carolina is good and they split with the Saints. Those 2 things happened last year, and I do believe the Saints actually did split with Atlanta last year. But if you split, let's say you split with Carolina, and that was a miraculous comeback. The Saints came back against the Redskins last year in the Dome. That was a miraculous comeback. If you lose that game, the Saints are 9-7. So you can't, in the NFL, 13-3 is probably where you really want to say, okay, we really know that we're a pretty good team. Because if we give away 3 of those wins, we're still 10-6. At 11-5, if you give away 3 wins, you're 8-8. Do anybody else understand this shit but me? Like, I'm watching the Saints operate as if they know that they're this good. And for all intents and purposes, you could say that Minnesota had an epic collapse in the second half and let the Saints back in the game and let the Saints steal the game. Minnesota should have won the game. They just did what they were supposed to do by stealing it again, by re-stealing the game. It's just terrible. But I'm a person that looks at it like that. I don't look at, if you're not 15-1, 14-2, I don't get it. Big L says your Saints about to have a fall from grace. Big L, you're not qualified to talk about that with the team that you cheer for. The Bears are pathetic. They're a terrible organization. You guys are terrible, okay? No, we don't receive that, Big L. No, sir. We love you, but we don't receive that, sir. The Saints could be 8-8 next year, and that means you're going to be picking in the middle of the draft, and you have no first-round pick. What if Drew Brees goes down? And everybody would be okay with you going 7-9 if he went down. Look at Green Bay. They lost their number 1 quarterback, and look what happened. They understand. Saints gave away their first-round pick. Like, I'm back on this shit. I wasn't even talking about that, but it's just disgraceful. So the Saints, to me, come away terrible. They just do. I would never have done that. And this move that the agent is claiming that the Patriots would have done is totally against, what they would have done. I am seeing an interesting article about the Browns, and I kind of want to pull it in. It's someone here from Cleveland. I want to kind of give a little attention to this. Maybe Al knows who this is. Let's see what she's talking about as it relates to the Browns and their draft.
Pretty well coalesced that this was the plan.
Courtesy of ESPN.
I would say a couple of days beforehand, they knew for sure, and it started to leak out. I knew it was kind of down between Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield a couple days beforehand, and I wrote about that. And then about the night before the draft, it really started to leak out that they were going with Baker Mayfield.
How's it been received? We saw you can always find unhappy customers. That's why the draft is the draft, and that's why we have fun with it. But how has it been received?
Well, I do think that fans and media here in Cleveland, we've all lived through Johnny Manziel. And I do think the first thought was, this is Johnny 2.0. You almost expected him to show the money sign when he came in and sat down. But we got those Johnny Manziel questions out of the way. He promised that there will be no Johnny Manziel type antics. He's coming in here with the mindset to compete, but he knows he's going to have to wait his turn.
You know, in the flush of just being after, moments after being drafted, he's there with Kimmel. And Jimmy asked him, can you guarantee at least one win? And to me, it told me something. He was smart enough, even in a jocular moment, not even to guarantee one win because it's the NFL.
That's right. And I thought he handled himself very well on there. You know, Jimmy tried to throw a couple of Cleveland jokes at him. And the thing about Baker is I asked him in his introductory press conference, you know, do you think you can win over these fans? And did you really want to be here? And he did really want to come to Cleveland and turn around this football team. And if he can win here, he will be the mayor of the town.
Yeah, if and we'll see. You've seen a few resets. They also took Antonio Callaway in the 4th round. And I think the club was a little bit defensive and trying to say that we've done our homework about him. And also Simeon Thomas in the 6th. They moved up to get Callaway. You hate to use the term character issues, but there were off-the-field concerns about these. And still, the Browns, having gone with a pick at the number 1 slot that was not a given in the minds of people, come back with a couple of head shakers in the minds of some people.
Well, Antonio Callaway comes in here with something to prove. He has a lot of baggage. There are still some things that are outstanding that will have to be dealt with. I mean, he had a diluted sample at the combine, so he comes into the league with 1 strike. I'm sorry?
Yeah, diluted drug sample, just for the folks at home.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So he comes in here with, with 1 strike against him already. So he's going to have to be on his best behavior. But they believe they can get him in here, help him, give him the support that he needs, and hopefully that Josh Gordon, everything that he's been through, that he'll be a good influence on Antonio Callaway.
All right, we've known each other for over 30 years. How many reboots have you seen with the Brownies?
Probably 29.
Is this one in any, I've got 15 seconds, in any way, shape, or form, does this feel different?
It does. It feels different because they have great talent evaluators inside the building. That makes all the difference in the world. You have faith that John Dorsey, Elliott Wolf, Alonzo Highsmith know what they're looking at. Okay, maybe it would be a different parade if there is a parade this year. Mary Kay Cabot of the Plain Dealer. Thanks, as always.
Love sports and hip-hop. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what, I don't know what's happened with Cleveland and what they're doing. You want to cheer. You want to cheer. As Big L says, colonizers make shit shine. You want to cheer for Al because I know it's hard. At least Big L can, rest assured that when times get hard, he could always throw on a 1985 tape. And when times get hard for me, I can always say, 2009, we got one. And Al can't say that. He doesn't have that ability to be able to feel better. Now, he couldn't talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers stealing and cheating an NBA title a few years ago. We all know that's fraudulent. Very few people actually think that was a legitimate title win. I know all of Cleveland does in Ohio, and I get it. And a lot of LeBron fans who are delusional, they do. But most of us who watched the series with no rooting interest realized that the shaft was in and cheating was happening and Cleveland would go on to win the series. It had to happen. But when they win their first legitimate title, we'll all be ready to give them credit and enjoy it. That is correct. Jim Brown did win a championship. I almost forgot he even played there. In our lifetime, I think I should preface it by saying in our lifetime, 1985, 2009, in our lifetime. Okay? I think I should say that. Love sports and hip hop. Let's talk about tonight's games before we get out of here, as we have the Toronto Raptors probably going to choke it away against Cleveland. And then we have the game everybody will be looking forward to tonight. And it's going to be huge. It's a hockey game. the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Washington, I don't know what. I guess a team from Atlanta that moved up there. And, of course, I'm joking because I don't watch hockey. I don't know anything about what's happening in hockey. I see Winnipeg and NSH. I have no idea who those teams are. I don't know where they are in this whole thing. Could care less. Whatever. Like, I really do believe that. I respect those guys. You know, they're tough, but I don't really watch that. Because as Jay was born in 2002, I actually wish that would mean that I'm on my way to what would be my junior year, and I'd be a number one prospect in all of the country, in football and basketball, both at the same time, okay? That's what I would have been if I was born in 2002. Yes, I think my daughter actually is born in 2002. That's why I know that she's on her way to her junior year. Tonight, Golden State and New Orleans will do battle in Golden State. Steph Curry scheduled to play tonight and will be a part of the loss that Golden State will incur. Don't get caught up in what happened with how much we lost by. It's totally irrelevant. Doesn't mean anything. You know, they did what they had to do. They won game one. They're an explosive team. They're a more experienced team. Okay? So they won the game. Great. Congratulations. But the Pelicans will be game in game two. The pace, I feel, will be managed just a tad bit differently, I hope. It was kind of conducive to the score ending up being what it was, okay? It was what it was, right? Yes, that means 16 years old, number one prospect in the world in football and basketball would be me if I was born in 2002 right now, because I'd be scooting all these youngins who can't play no ball anyway, okay? It ain't happening. They wouldn't be able to do nothing against me. But I have the Pelicans winning tonight because we'll play better defense tonight. We won't turn over the ball as much. I think that's going to be the key. Don't turn over the ball, and then also understand that you have to manage your possessions, because in managing your possessions, you put pressure on the Warriors as it relates to getting them in foul trouble. You don't have the talent to go toe-to-toe with this team with their talent playing the majority of the minutes. You have to make them get to their bench and start to do some things they don't want to do. And the way that you do that is by forcing Draymond Green to start playing like an ass clown. So work the ball inside the AD, allow him to set your offense up, and force contact with Draymond. Once you do that with him, you find a way to kind of get KD in the mix defensively and make him have to defend. The greatest way to take away a jump shooter's success is to get their legs tired. You have to make those guys tired. And what I think the Pelicans are trying to lean on is if they can make this team run more than they've ran in recent history, that their legs will get tired if the series goes 6 or 7, and they might have a chance. We'll see. I do think if Steph Curry plays tonight, you should step on his ankle. Don't even apologize for it. Just fall on his ankle and let it happen. Big L says 0-2 New Orleans. I told you so. Rondo and Holiday are not ready. They will be. They'll be ready tonight. They'll be okay. They'll play better. The Pelicans will play better. It'll be a closer game no matter what. And I'm hoping the Pelicans can finish it off, because here's the deal. If they go down 0-2, we'll win the series in 7. How about that? You thought I was going to say we're going to lose a series? Hell no. We're going to win a series in 7, okay? That's how it's going to happen. The guy that's winning 3 straight starting tonight. We're going to win tonight. We'll win Friday. We'll win Sunday. And we'll find out what happens in Game 5. The Pelicans are phenomenal. So are the Warriors. I respect the hell out of the Warriors. So we'll see. NBA basketball tonight. What channel are those games airing on tonight? Is it TNT tonight? Yes, it is TNT. So 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. Cleveland in Toronto. Following that game on TNT, you have the New Orleans Pelicans on the road against the Golden State Warriors. There was a story that I wanted to share with you guys before I got out of here today. And so let me see if I can pull it up and kind of grab from it, as I don't have much from it. I'm also seeing a front page story on Kawhi Leonard, and the Spurs will probably get a chance to talk about that. Why would the Knicks consider Mike Brown? Like, are you crazy? For what? Consider him to do what? To have a conversation about being an announcer? Like what? A play-by-play guy? There's no way I'm hiring Mike Brown. What are you doing? That's crazy. high school coach fired over number of black players. That's a little article that I saw. Hopefully it doesn't make me have to talk for the 30 minutes or so. A New Jersey high school football coach says he lost his job because he had too many black players on the team. Are you serious? Nick Storm told Cherry Hill Courier-Post that he had been fired as a coach of the town's Catholic high school team despite a 34-6 record over 4 years. He's also been placed on administrative leave as a history teacher. The school disputes that his firing has anything to do with race. I think this is from me not conforming with their viewpoints on what they wanted their student body and football team to look like, Storm said, according to the Courier-Post. I've tried to build this program into one that's based on kids being of ability, high character, and high grades. From day one, the administration told me they did not approve of the ratio of black to whites. Okay. Storm, who was white, told the newspaper that half of his team is made up of minorities. He said the ratio of the team came up 10 to 20 times with the administration. When I'd have a list of potential freshmen, the first question I'd be asked is if they were white or black. He said, according to the Courier-Post, I was confused about why the question was, how can we get more white players in the program or on the field? I get it. So this brother, is saying he got fired because he had too many black people on the team. And they wanted more white boys on the squad. Okay. Interesting. Okay. We'll talk more about that on tomorrow. We'll talk more. From day one, the administration told me they did not approve of the ratio of black to white students, and they had denied us. We'll discuss more about that on tomorrow. Interesting. Very, very interesting. It's telling me, man, jail links. I got to get out of here, guys. I love y'all. I do. I thank you guys for your patience on today. Interesting comments and thoughts from Kayne West. Everybody has the right to grow. I promote that on the show. And I thank you guys for standing by and enjoying it, man. I played Music Soul Child earlier, right? So how do I get off the air today? You know what I'm going to do? I got something. I need to get me some drink. These kids coughing around me all day today, man. It starts to mess with you. You know what I'm saying? You have to do a show where you're talking. You're thinking, uh-oh, am I getting a scratchy throat? You don't want that. Try to avoid that. The secret is to continue to drink water, like a lot of it. So I'll be drinking some water here momentarily. My daughter, who loves to kiss on Dad, I'm not going to push her away. I'm going to continue to kiss on her even though she has a cold. I'm not going to do that. It ain't going to happen. I ain't know I'm going to lie to y'all. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Today was a pleasure. One love together. Anything is possible. Love us more. 2018. Shout out to the homie Big L. Thank you for saluting the show. I love y'all. I do. God is greater. I challenge y'all. Y'all challenge me. That's what it's about, right? I'll see y'all tomorrow with more Love, Sports, and Hip Hop. I will be back tonight with a few snippets. Pelicans win tonight. LeBron James will never be as good as Michael Jordan. Stop the conversation. It's insultful. Shout out to Music Soul Child. See y'all tomorrow, man.
Tell me if you feel the same way. Does it just feel so right? I don't wanna waste no time. If I had to choose, I know I'm gonna always choose to be with you. 'Cause girl, don't you know? Girl, don't you know you're so beautiful? I wanna give all my love to you, girl. Not just tonight, but the rest of your life. I wanna be always here by your side. Girl, don't you know you're so beautiful? I wanna give all my love to you, girl. Not just tonight, but the rest of your life. I wanna be always here by your side. When you're not here, you don't know how much I miss you. The whole time on my mind is how much I'm gonna get to make you feel so good, like you know I could. Tell me if you feel the same way, 'cause it just feels so no time. Girl, if I had to choose, I know I'm gonna always choose to be with you. Girl, don't you know? Girl, don't you know you're so beautiful? Yeah, babe. I wanna give my love to you, girl. Not just tonight, but the rest of your life. I wanna be always here by your side.